a new Ethernet jack in the car. No, I'm going on my way to the store. I'm gonna go pick up some parts. Let's get right to it. Shopping. I am such a shopper. Come in here and you scan your own stuff, peasant. What? Don't like it? No, you can still use oh, no, you can't. Here's the situation. I want the jack right here. I'll be routing the cable from right around here in the basement, which means it has to go all the way here, and finally, this is where my router is. Your own cables, you're gonna need a reel of Cat 5e or Cat 6 cable. Now this is Cat 6. Cat 6, I think which to use is kind of a judgment call. Cat 6 can handle up to 10 gigabits and Cat 5e can handle up to 1 gigabit. Emphasis on the bit part of the gigabit. Bit is, well, not really marketing lingo, but it's been usurped by marketing shitheads to make you think that you're getting faster internet than you actually are. So when they tell you, hey, how fast is the internet going to be in your house? Oh, it's going to be 100 megabits. No, you divide that by 8, because there's 8 bits in the byte, and that's how normal people measure data. So therefore, you're only actually getting by, I don't know, 12 and a half megabytes per second when they're telling you 100 megabits. We're on to them, aren't we? Here are the tools we will need. A drill, a 5/8 inch or so wood boring bit. I'm going to use this multi-tool with a saw attachment to cut the drywall, but a drywall knife or a box cutter knife work fine as well. Screwdriver, Phillips head, flathead, wire cutters, wire strippers. If we're routing cable, then we're going to need this low voltage staple gun, pencil, stud finder, leveler, other stud finder, Ethernet cable crimpers if we're making our own cables, and I do recommend you just buy the cable because it's really a big pain in the ass to make the cable. But if you want to have a 300 IQ, then make your own cable. And I have these Carlin low voltage old work boxes, Cat 6 jack, Cat 5e, whatever you picked, and a wall plate. And of course, an assortment of actual Cat 6 cable connectors and measuring tape. Let us begin by figuring out where we want to put the outlet. And the work starts by making sure that we're not cutting into a place where there might be a stud, because if we do, we'll be in a world of pain. This is where the stud finder comes in. There's no way there's AC here. Okay, this one. This is just a magnet. I want up here, so that's a screw. Well, let's just say that a stud is about here. We're gonna make marks for the box itself that we're gonna mount, but first, in keeping with general aesthetic, let's measure how high these outlets are. So about 3 inches. So 3 inches. And then we make a nice and leveled mark. Next, we're going to use our Carlin as a template. It has these handy holes. That's what we're going to mark with. And then we're going to connect the dots. All right, connect the dots time, my favorite game. All right, perform some drywall surgery. Open sesame. That's why I thought there was AC back here. There's some insulation backing and foil. It does make our job a tad bit harder in terms of fishing. If we made a halfway decent cut, this Carlin should fit just fine. And it does. Now we use a Phillips head. As I twist it, the flag will come closer and closer to the drywall. Now comes a really fun part in which we have to drill a hole from the basement pretty much precisely where this new box is, so we can fish some cable through. To accomplish that, we're gonna need to use something as reference, something you can see from the basement. For example, here I have a pipe to my radiator. I can definitely see that from the basement, so that's where I'm going to measure from. Measuring on center from the pipe, I'm at about 29.5 inches. As for depth, I think if we go about 3 inches in from the pipe, we probably can't go wrong. Let's try it. So here we are in the basement. This part is super duper fun. Everyone agrees this is definitely the best part about routing cables is drilling holes in the exact place where they need to go. All right, 29.5 inches from this pipe here. 3 inches in from where the pipe is. Gonna drill about here. Cowabunga. Through. We made it. See if we can't fish through that cable. I've measured out, roughly speaking, how much cable I'll need. This is ideally where a friend comes in on the other side to help you fish this through, or perhaps even a tool. They do sell tools to make this a bit easier. I'm already meeting resistance up there owing to that fiberglass, so this is gonna be extra super duper fun. Good luck, everybody. All right, it took a few tries and some help of a lovely assistant, but we got it through. All right, let's start this particular party. I'm gonna connect this to the Cat 6 jack. There are 2 standards. There's T568A and T568B that we can wire to. Pick one and stick with it. I'm gonna go with B. You can kind of see here, we've got these funny looking triangles for A and for B. Start by just following the instructions. We're gonna remove 2.5 inches of cable jacket, unfurl the wires, put the wire in, use the plunger here to push down on the wire and make the connection. Next up we got blue, white, orange, flip it over, brown, white, brown, green, and finally green, white. Trim all excess. Bringing in this clamp here now. There. Which sort of just clips. All right, I'm gonna keep it like this in case I screwed up. All right, chose to redo it a bit so that it looks nice and proper with the cable clamp actually doing its job. Comes the real fun part. We're going down to the basement. We're gonna add this connector to the other side of this where we're terminating it by the router. For this, we will need our crimpers. But not before stapling it to the joist, routing the cable where it needs to go. It has a little notch here. That's how we place it. We place the cable in between the notch and ready. Here we are, coming in, finish line. Right, and if I ever choose to finish the basement, well, this cable will already nicely be routed here for an outlet. But for now, I'm just gonna make the connector here. Got a lot more cable than I bargained for, but that's okay. We can snip this and reuse this for something else later. Now then, I promised you all pain, and we're gonna get pain. So I'm gonna leave myself plenty of slack because I know I'm gonna screw this up a bazillion times before I get it right. So, snip. Ah, shit. We'll now demonstrate to you the pain of making an Ethernet cable. We start by stripping a jacket. You know, I was doing remarkably well. I went upstairs, I tested it, and of course it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? I did it backwards. I basically did the mirror of what I was supposed to do. That critical last step, backwards. And then you get to start over again. Strip about 1 inch. Untwist the pairs. We're going to be following this T568B. And we're going to make sure that our cable is going to look exactly like this by the time we insert it into this little insert. And it's going to go facing up on this thing. Alright? Pinching them between your index and your thumb. Double check your order. Bring them as close together as possible, and then we snip. And we snip to get the wires perfectly in order like this. We insert it here. Last opportunity to double check. double check your wires here. Now we insert it into the connector, making sure the pins are facing up. Insert everything, jacket and all. Really jam it in there. Take our crimper. We're going to take the 8-pole connection. We're going to put it in. And crimp. Crimp once, crimp twice, 3 times, 4 times.
And then 6 times. Okay.
The contacts are pushed up right against the housing of the connector, just like they should be. Let's plug it in and find out if this worked. Bing. Here, I've plugged in my Roku, and blinky lights means there's communication. I think we did it. All right, final step. Button it up. Beautiful. And so that's how you install an Ethernet jack. It's not too difficult. Like I said, the worst part is trying to crimp a connector onto a cable. You could save a lot of money, actually. You could avoid buying the crimper and all those connectors by just buying some cheapo pre-made cable. There's no shame in buying it and then just snipping one end of it and plugging it in here. Just measure what you need, and then it'll work guaranteed. And that's all I have for you today. I hope this has been helpful. Hit like if it was, hit like if it wasn't. Plug your Ethernet cord into that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.